Well, I never thought it would happen, but we have a brand new Indiana Jones movie. I'm almost certain that this will be the last one. But anyway, let's review Indiana Jones and the Dial of Destiny. What's up, guys? Welcome to a brand new 2023 review. Indiana Jones and the Dial of Destiny, I believe, comes out next weekend. And the reason I said it at the beginning is I'm almost positive there's never going to be a new one. That's not a spoiler. It's just because of Harrison Ford's age and his interests. I don't think he would want to do another Indiana Jones after this movie. You know, I believe he's in his, is he in his early 80s? Right off the bat, I'm going to say the guy looks amazing. Like, I want to look like that when I'm 81, okay? There is a scene where he takes his shirt off, and I was like, damn, he's still cut, you know? Because I remember there was a scene in a Clint Eastwood movie, I think it was the Space Cowboys or something like that, and his shirt was off, and it should not have been off because he is just really, really old. But Harrison Ford, he is definitely holding his own. I got to give him that, okay? So going into this, know that that wasn't a spoiler. I'm just saying because of his age, I doubt he would ever do another Indiana Jones movie. But what's interesting about this movie is it opens up with this scene from 1944, I think. So this scene would take place after Last Crusade, but he's still relatively young looking. And I'd say it's obvious CGI, but it's still good. Like, it still looks really convincing, I guess. And I know why they did that, because A, it ties into the story, and B, it's nice to get a little younger Indiana Jones, especially for maybe his last movie. Remember back in like Last Crusade, at the opening of the movie, River Phoenix played young Indy, and they could have went that route with this, but I guess not, because, you know, this is post Last Crusade. So I'm answering my own question there. You can't do that. I'm sorry. But I was talking with, I believe I was talking with one of my reviewer friends, Dan, and the possibility of, like, what if they wanted to reboot this series? Would you guys accept, you know, more Indiana Jones adventures with a different actor? You know, because I think they were even talking about maybe Chris Pratt coming in. Let me know down in the comments if that's something that you would be for, or if that's just sacred ground. Don't you dare even touch it. I'm on the other side of it. I don't think they should, if I'm being honest, just because Harrison Ford has pretty much covered this entire lifespan of this character. It's not like James Bond, where it, you know, you can do a couple of movies. I think Sean Connery did the most movies. But there's a debate to be had there. But getting into the quick plot synopsis, that scene is specifically for Indiana Jones on one of his missions, and he's trying to acquire I think it's the Spear of Destiny, the spear that actually pierced Christ's side, his rib, which made me think of Constantine, actually, because that's a major object in that movie. You know, the Spear of Destiny. I don't think it's called the Spear of Destiny in this. But you know, at first I thought, oh, is that going to be the whole focus of the whole movie? But then it quickly turns into half of this, what's called the Dial of Destiny. You know, it's like, it supposedly gives the power to go back in time. But the dial is lost, and then we fast forward to the current, you know, I guess modern day of Indiana Jones, which I believe this is 1969. You know, they're opening with, you know, the peace and love type stuff. You got some of the music from that era, and Indiana Jones, he's pretty much near the, you know, he's in his twilight years, okay? And enter this new character, Helena, played by Phoebe Waller-Bridge. She is his goddaughter, and her father factored into the opening of the movie. And so she has been on the mission to find the other half of this Dial of Destiny. And she tries to recruit the help of Indiana Jones to do so. So really, this is kind of more her mission, and Indiana Jones is kind of thrown in the middle of it. And look, guys, you know, I've seen some chatter all over the internet. You know, the current day and age of movie criticism and YouTube, and there's the hate crowd that if a woman's in a movie, then it's not a good thing. I've already started some controversy just by even stating that. Some of you are mad at me for saying that. But I guess what I'm trying to say is, my train of thought is, if the story's good, then I don't care. I don't care if a character, be it a woman or a man, is the focal point of an Indiana Jones movie. But the story needs to be good, and the character needs to be interesting and compelling. And this character, I didn't find her very interesting and compelling at all. She just didn't have, I guess, that nuance about her that you get from certain other characters. Doesn't have to be male or female. Look, guys, it's just hard to be an actor and portray a character that is so liked and you just want to know more and more about that character as the story goes on. They could be a bad character, they could be a good character, but it takes a good actor, if not a great actor, to make that character interesting. I wouldn't say she's the main character. I think it's a half and half type thing. Her and Indiana Jones are running this show. But I didn't find her that interesting, honestly. I don't want to say annoying, but she does come off as a little bit too much at times. And she hasn't really earned it or anything, you know. Maybe give us some more of her backstory. But she's just not very charismatic, okay? That's the big thing here. And then Indiana Jones, like if this was the first Indiana Jones movie, then I think we wouldn't see an Indiana Jones franchise. And that's not fair to say because of his age in this, but I'm just stating, maybe if he was a younger Indiana Jones, would this be that great? Would it be Raiders of the Lost Ark? Absolutely not. This is so far from how great Raiders of the Lost Ark is. And part of that is because Indiana Jones is such an electric, animated, fun, unique, signature type of character. And I think in this movie, we are just getting remnants of that. You know, it's not fully there. It's not fully on display. And the character's just, I don't think he's interested in being, you know, what he was back then. He physically can't be that anymore. So, unfortunately, we're watching not only an old, but almost a geriatric type of character. He's reluctant, but I don't think he's just, you know, he's just not the Indy that we're used to. And guys, let me go ahead and say this right now. Giving you my opinion on the franchise, the movies in the franchise. I'm a casual fan of Indiana Jones. I really dig the character. I think Raiders of the Lost Ark is a phenomenal, essential movie of the 80s. I think it's almost perfect, you know. I really like Temple of Doom. I think Last Crusade is a little bit overrated. I even gave it another watch a few years ago. There's some fun to be had there, but I don't think it compares to the first two. And Kingdom of the Crystal Skull, a lot of you guys hate that movie. I really don't get it. And you can't give me that it's far-fetched because all these movies are far-fetched. That's what makes the character and the stories fun. He literally jumps out of a freaking airplane on a raft. And you got a problem with nuking the fridge? Give me that nuke in the fridge. You know, there was none of that in this movie, really. You know, some of you will see that as a pro. I like my Indiana Jones to really step far outside of the realm of possibility. You know, suspension of disbelief, all that stuff. Sometimes for certain franchises, I don't care about suspension of disbelief. Make it fun. Make it crazy. I mean, Fast and the Furious. I don't like that franchise, but suspension of disbelief has nothing to do with it. You know, I just don't really like those characters that much. But this one didn't really have too much of that fun factor. There is this young character named Teddy who I guess is supposed to be like the Short Round of the movie, but he's not nearly as fun as Short Round is. You know, he comes off as kind of rude too, actually. I think Helena and this Teddy character, I feel like Indiana Jones is in their way. That's what it feels like throughout this movie. And it's almost disrespectful and it gets annoying, all right? Now, we haven't even talked about our main villain yet. That's Mads Mikkelsen. I love Mads Mikkelsen. And I would even say the Hannibal series, it might be better than the actual franchise, the movies, you know? Because he's such a great Hannibal. But he's just pretty much playing a Nazi in this movie. There's no nuance to him. There's nothing really compelling or interesting about him. But I think the biggest crime this movie makes in the villain department is wasting Boyd Holbrook. You know, I really have been following his career. He was really great in Logan. He's done quite a few other things. He's kind of a chameleon type actor. He was in Narcos. And I was really curious to see what they were going to do with him in this. And he's a glorified henchman. That's really all he is. And it's a shame. And story-wise, I do think this movie just gets pretty preposterous. As far as like where it goes in the final act and the possibilities of where it could go, I didn't find it very satisfying. And it's a shame. This is the last Indiana Jones movie. I'm almost positive this is going to be the last Indiana Jones movie. I don't want to completely shit on this movie. There are a couple of nice moments, okay, that might even bring a tear to your eye. there were some chuckles that I had throughout the movie. It's Indiana Jones, and it's nice to see that guy up there on the screen again, you know? So, no regrets. The movie's fine to exist, but overall, like if I'm going through my Indiana Jones movies, this will be the one that I rarely ever want to rewatch, you know? I've watched Kingdom of the Crystal Skull probably like 4 times now. I think it's a fun movie to watch, okay? I think the magic's gone, guys. I really do. So I'm going to give this 2 hours lost, okay? So, yeah, let me know down in the comments your thoughts on the latest Indiana Jones and the Dial of Destiny. Looking forward to hearing them. Also, guys, I've taken like a week off just trying to regroup, rethink what I want to do with the channel and everything. You know, when you're 8 years, you start, I don't know, you start rethinking things. But I'm definitely loving doing my classic deep cut reviews. So I got one I'm going to record for Looker, a movie 1981 that's very similar to Halloween 3, actually. I just gave it a watch right before recording this. And The Final Terror, going to be reviewing those two. Body Double. Got a lot of those type reviews coming up. So if you're into that stuff, definitely stay tuned. But anyway, be sure to come over to Killer Flicks where we talk horror all day and every day. On Fridays, we do Fearful Fridays. Follow me at Drumdums and on my socials. Support me on Patreon. Buy me a coffee. And you guys, thank you so much for watching. Have a great day. Drumdum out.